Alright, so we're checking out the AVIONRC IKON 2.5 Max. So this is a updated version of the IKON 2.5 that I reviewed, I forget, it was a few months ago. It's this one here, and since then I've also reviewed the 3-inch. Basically, in a nutshell, they took the design elements from the 3-inch for basically the separated arms and incorporated them into a 2.5-inch design. A lot of people complained about the original 2.5 being a single bottom plate and only 3 millimeters thick. I guess a lot of people wanted to Bando bash this and didn't feel like it was up to the task. So they went with the replaceable arms. So if you break an arm, they are replaceable. You can just remove a couple of screws and then put a new arm in. And the arms are thicker now. They're 3.5 millimeters thick. For the most part, everything else is the same. So same O3 air unit, same flight controller, and the same motors, the same Brother Hobby 1404 4600 kV motors. They are using some different props this time. These are the HQ 2.5 by 2.5 by 3 props instead of the Emax props that were on the original. And if you want to know like all of the intricacies of the design, differences on how this separated arm design it comes into play, I talked about it in pretty significant detail in the 3-inch video, so I'll link both 3-inch video and the previous 2.5-inch video in the video description. You can go and check it out, but basically you can see it's the same sort of setup here. You have this staggered design, bottom plates, and then like a separated back plate here, and then you have inside here you have like a piece of carbon that goes across, and also over here as well that goes across, that hold the arm in place, that sort of sandwich the arms, and then you have a brace piece on the other side of this piece of carbon right there. It's a little hard to see. And then that's basically the exact same thing that's going on here. It's just that they shrunk it down to a 2.5-inch size, shorter arms for the 2.5-inch props, and the top plate is a little bit shorter, and then this back piece is a little bit shorter. It's brought in. It's the same length as the one on the original IKON 2.5. So for those of you wondering what the weight differences are, it's going to be obviously heavier. Let's see how much heavier it is. It's 145.7 for the Max, and then the original is 136.3 grams. So yeah, you're definitely paying a weight penalty for the extra screws and brace pieces for the replaceable arms. But for those of you that are looking for more of a durable IKON 2.5 for Bando bashing, then this will obviously definitely help with the durability issues that people had complained about. Now, the question I have for you is, if you were one of those folks that were on the fence about the original design because of the single bottom plate, does this change your mind? Does this updated design make you feel like you want to go ahead and get this, or does it not really matter at all to you? I'm just curious. A lot of people complained about the single bottom plate here. Obviously if you break an arm, you're gonna have to replace the whole bottom plate. And then is it really worth the weight penalty? So you guys know what the weight differences are here. Let me know down in the comments below. But yeah, essentially it flies almost the same. I can't really notice any difference. And then I think they went with this HQ prop. It's a little bit more efficient, so I think it kind of counterbalances the extra weight, the extra 10 grams. So I think that's why the way they went with this one. It's a little bit more torquey on the low end of the throttle and not as high on the amps on the high end of the throttle. So I think that's kind of why they went with this, because it is a little bit heavier setup. But these are, we're talking really minor differences that I can barely notice. Yeah, the 10 grams does make a difference in terms of sort of carrying that weight around. I do feel it. I would recommend going with a slightly smaller battery if you're more concerned about the weight. Of course, it'll cut into your flight time. I went with a Force 450. If you want more flight time and don't care about doing so much, freestyle acro moves, maybe go to a Force 650. That might be the one to go for. So anyway, I think that's going to cover this video. Really not a whole lot more to report here. And again, go watch the 3-inch video to see the details on the frame. It's exactly the same, just shrunken down. And then I'll also link the original 2.5 video. You can look at that flight footage. And this flight footage on this one here, if you notice any major differences, let me know. The PID tune is, again, spot on, as usual, from AVIONRC. No real complaints about their PID tune, works pretty well. Didn't see any problems in terms of what kind of flight footage it produced. So again, if you notice any differences, let me know down in the comments below. But that'll do it for this video, and I'll talk to you guys in the next one.